Hello and welcome to this speed build video for the Boyd family. Now, if you happen to be new to my channel, the Boyd family is one of the families in the Sims 4 Ultimate Decades Challenge, which I have been playing on this channel. They're not my main household, but they are one of our side households that one of our daughters from the first generation married into, and it was about time for their lovely family to have a new home. They outgrew their house that I had downloaded from the gallery, and I thought it was time to try my hand at building a house that could house about, I think there's 10 or 11 Sims in this house when I was building it. There's currently, I think, about 12 Sims at the moment when I'm filming this voice recording because, well, as the challenge goes, you are getting Sims married and having them have babies. And we've had a few babies, and we have luckily had some marriages, so some Sims could move out, which is a bonus for this house. So at the moment I'm just working on the exterior and a little bit of the interior. As you could see there a few moments ago, I was working on the bedroom section and I decided to have most of the bedrooms downstairs. I'm just now trying to figure out how to get the upstairs sorted. And I guess now we're downstairs because I'm trying to figure out the layout of the stairs. But in this house we have two grandparents or great-grandparents currently for the third generation, Alba and Hendry. We then have our Gen 1 parents / grandparents, Hendry and Katrina, and the heir for this household, Christian and his wife Evelyn, who have started having kids. They have little Colin Boyd, but not when this house was being built. They'd just gotten married. And then they had Caitlin and Robert, who, if you're up to date with the challenge, you know what happened to Robert. And then we have Finian and David. Finian and David are the last two Sims from Gen 2 of the Boyd household waiting to age up and get married off. Caitlin married Lewis Reed and has moved into her own little house, still near her family in the Highlands of Scotland, but out of this house, which is crowded. It's so chaotic. Katrina has the fear of crowded places trait now, and I don't blame her. Anytime I'm playing with the Boyd household, it's just descent into chaos because none of the Sims want to listen to me. So as you can see, I worked on the kitchen, and that's really just the extent of the kitchen. I do decorate it, but that's the kitchen. I'm here upstairs trying to figure out the layout because I realized I wanted a bathroom and a bedroom upstairs for the new couple, as well as a nursery, because downstairs I have the two rooms for the grandparents and the great-grandparents and then his siblings, Christian siblings. And then I realized I kind of dug myself into a little hole because where was I supposed to put the nursery? But it's fine, I can put the nursery upstairs, which is what I'm doing. But you'll notice I didn't leave much space for a bathroom. Apparently I just wasn't thinking when this was happening. We will end up moving closer into the build. It's just sometimes I like to build kind of from afar to see what I'm doing. And then other times you'll notice in future speed builds I'm a bit up close and personal with the building. Just depends on my mood that day. Here we are trying to pick our paneling. I really want to go for a wood theme. Every other house I've built has been made from stone because I really love those Scottish black houses that are made of stone and have dirt floors. But I thought maybe I'd do something different this time, so I put wood everywhere. Now I'm working on the roofs, but it's rough. This roofing is rough, and it wasn't until I showed it to a family member and they told me that it wasn't that great that I fixed it. So it does stay a little messed up for a while, but that's all right because it does get fixed. I'm not the best at building, and I'm really not the best at doing roofing. It's just my brain can't really figure that stuff out. So yeah, as you can see right now, it looks a little bit janky. But clearly I wasn't fussed by it. I was actually quite proud of this for whatever reason, because I'm watching it back and this does not look good. So I'm glad I was told, you might need to fix that. And then I'm picking windows. I think just before I started this build, I had gotten the ranch pack, and I was obsessed with like all the build items that had come in. The walls, the flooring, the doors, the windows. But I was trying to be very mindful that it's supposed to be in medieval Scotland. Sometimes I just have to tell myself to disconnect from wanting to be very, very historically accurate. I've mentioned a couple times I have a degree in history. I studied that at university. And even when watching historical films or TV shows, I do have a penchant for wanting things to be historically accurate, whether that's like costume-wise or like buildings. So even when I'm playing, I have that problem, and I have to tell myself, it's a game, it doesn't matter, it's not a big deal, it's not going to break my immersion, you know? So what if it is little bits that are a bit modern? That's part of the game, you know? And here I am decorating the kitchen. Most of my kitchens look the same, but it's because I'm using the same items. And when I discover a new item, I put it everywhere in every house I build, which probably isn't a good thing, but it is what it is. That's our dining room. I added a little lute for Caitlin because she has the music trait. And then I hope she took it with her when she moved out. Otherwise, maybe someone else can pick up the skill. I'm not too fussed by that. So this room here is for Alba and Alba and Angus. The rooms I left quite bare, even the nursery. So enough space for the toddler and an infant, and I've moved the crib into the parents' room. I've got plenty of beds downstairs. I even have an extra bedroom upstairs because I wanted to give Caitlin her own room away from her brothers because she's the only surviving girl in the family. And I thought she deserved her own space. Here I am trying to figure out which fireplace I want. Always a struggle because I don't want to use the same ones, but I'm limited with this medieval part of the challenge. And then here I am just adding in some windows for natural lighting, which I hope I didn't overdo. I don't think I did. Sometimes I get a bit heavy-handed with windows and every single wall has one. I did feel like the wall around the stairs had kind of closed off the space, and I was also trying to figure out where I should put the bathroom upstairs. So I got rid of the walls. I feel like the fence just opens it up a bit better, and it won't irritate me whilst I'm trying to play in the household with the walls up and being in my way. Here I am just chucking toys everywhere because there's quite a few kids in this household, as I've mentioned, so I figured they just leave a bunch of stuff everywhere, as kids do. And a chess table, and the only reason I'm adding the chess table is because they had it in their old house, and they were always playing on the chess table, so I wanted to bring an element of their old living quarters into this one. And here I am making a tiny, tiny, tiny bathroom. Absolute insanity, if you ask me. I don't know why I tried to do that with the wall and why I thought that would work. I do fix it because that's just crazy to think that would work. I mean, it would, but then they'd only have one place to like have a shower or a bath, and with 12 Sims in one household, that is just asking for too much. Here is the fencing. I actually love doing this type of fencing where it's kind of half done or pieces are missing. I don't know, I just really like the look of it. And then I've added some little planting, I don't know what they're called right now, but just like garden patches and a chicken coop. Obviously the little signpost for the medieval activities that they can go and do, and then I add some more skill building things in the background. So they have the wash tub and clothesline, they have the bees so they can have honey, and a blacksmithing station, archery over there because, well, why not? And it's also a vital skill for them to learn for the war effort that they do roll to join in, because Scotland has a lot of military things that are going on in the 14th century. Also why I added that little stump over there, which is a swordsmanship training stump, which is a very cool animation. And then the monkey bars for the little kiddos to have some fun. It's kind of hard trying to find any medieval CC for kids activities that they could do, but they can do monkey bars. I'm fine with that. And then here I am doing just some terrain painting. I'm not the best at it. I kind of just, wherever I think it would work, I just put it there. It doesn't necessarily look aesthetic, for lack of a better word, but that's just my vibe. A little bit messy when it comes to the terrain painting, but I'm chill with it. And then, yeah, I'm just adding some landscaping, not too much. I did want to go for the overgrown vibe, but I don't think I went that vibe, surprisingly enough. I just kept it nice and tidy. But who knows, maybe I'll give myself some free rein throughout the challenge to, you know, make their house a little bit more lived in. Yeah, and I'm just doing the finishing touches of the downstairs and the terrain. I'm adding some prairie grass because why not? I really love that little build item because it just gives you so many great collectibles. And there I am fixing the bathroom because they needed a shower. So it's a bit bigger. It doesn't have a doorway necessarily. And that's me looking at the roof. So here I am fixing it. I do think it ends up turning out better. I was trying to go for the thatched roofing, the very like curved one, as you can see. And I always try to add a chimney for whatever reason. Apparently I've abandoned the roofs for the moment. It was stressing me out, to be fair, and I was just going to leave it like that, which, looking at it now, I don't know why, because I would have regretted that completely. There we go. I've demolished it and now I'm working on new roofing, and we can all applaud me on that because it looks better. So yeah, we're almost finished with this little speed build. I think this is the last part of it before we jump into the screenshots. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have enjoyed my rambling on why I've done the build the way I did. Yeah, and if you're interested in seeing how the Sims function in this house, and you haven't watched any of the Ultimate Decades videos that I've posted, feel free to start. This house doesn't come along until the 1320s, which is the decade I'm currently playing in. But it's well worth it for them to wait, I think. I also couldn't wait any longer to build a new house for them because their last one was driving me up the wall and it was just starting to look very janky. But yeah, I really enjoyed this build. I had a lot of fun, which is something to say because generally building really stresses me out if you haven't gathered that already. And I think that's our finishing touch. So yeah, there we go. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're having a lovely morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are, and I will see you for the next video, which should hopefully be an Ultimate Decades episode. Anyway, bye!